Cyberpunk 2077 is already one of the best looking games on PC, so improving it without destroying its original atmosphere is not easy. For this overhaul, I focus on 10 mods covering path trace lighting, color grading, weather, textures, characters, draw distance, rain and visual effects. I recorded the gameplay in 4K using an RTX 5080. At the end of the video I'll show you the complete modded setup alongside the performance cost. All of the mods and their requirements will be linked in the description down below. The foundation of this entire setup is Ultra Plus, physically accurate path tracing. Rather than simply adding a color filter, Ultra Plus changes how the game's ray tracing and path tracing behave. Its biggest improvements become visible in indirect lighting, reflections, darker interiors, and scenes containing multiple light sources. In this comparison, the vanilla version already looks impressive, but with Ultra Plus enabled, the light appears more naturally distributed across the environment, and smaller details remain visible without making the image look artificially bright. Reflections also appear cleaner in motion, especially on wet roads, vehicles and glass. This is one of the most demanding changes in the overhaul, but it also influences nearly every scene in the game. The second mod is Nova LOD 4.0. The LOD controls the game's color presentation, and Nova replaces Cyberpunk's original grading with a more natural looking image. The colors still feel vibrant, but the overall presentation is less heavily tinted. Skin tones, bright skies and darker environments appear more balanced, while Night City still retains its colorful cyberpunk identity. The difference is not equally dramatic in every scene, but when comparing identical shots, the image feels cleaner and more grounded. Nova LOD becomes much more effective when combined with Nova City 2. Nova City changes the weather, lighting, exposure and atmosphere throughout Night City. During the day, sunlight feels stronger without completely washing out the environment. Cloudy weather creates noticeable colder atmosphere, and nighttime scenes have a deeper contrast between illuminated streets and darker areas. The changing conditions also prevent the game from looking identical everywhere. Downtown, the Badlands and the industrial districts each develop a more distinct visual character. Together, Ultra Plus, Nova LOD and Nova City creates an overall lighting foundation for the rest of the overhaul. The next mod is Cyberpunk 2077 HD Reworked Project. This mod improves a wide selection of the game's assets while trying to preserve the original artistic direction. The differences are easiest to see when you're walking and driving. Road markings look sharper and concrete retains more surface detail, and science graffiti and smaller environment objects hold up better at close range. You may not notice every individual texture during normal gameplay, but together they make the environment feel cleaner and more consistent, especially at 4K. The environment textures overhaul covers many of the surfaces that players consistently see while exploring. This includes roads, pavements, terrain, architecture, and different industrial materials. There is some overlap with the HD Reworked, so the installation priority matters. In my setup, environment textures overhaul receives priority, where the two mods replace the same asset. The improvement is particularly noticeable in the Badlands and industrial parts of the city, where large surfaces otherwise appear soft and repetitive. These textures also increase memory usage, so later in the video we'll show how much VRAM the complete setup consumes. The environment now looks considerably sharper, but the characters also need to hold up under the improved lighting we just did. NPC ReTexture Project enhances the textures used by several important and secondary characters, including the details on the faces, bodies and clothing. This is most noticeable during conversations and close-up cinematic scenes. Fine facial details remain clearer, while clothing appears less blurry when viewed at close range. It does not completely replace the game's character models, so the result still feels faithful to the original design that the developers intended. The next mod I want to showcase is improved environmental LODs. The improved environmental LODs increases the quality of the distant environmental objects. From rooftops and long streets, buildings and city details remain visible from far away, reducing the obvious transition between details nearby assets and simplified distant versions. It is not the most dramatic improvement, but it becomes much more visible when we are moving quickly through Night City. In addition to the improved environment LODs, I also downloaded improved vegetation LODs. This mod improves the vegetation LODs, which applies the same idea to trees, bushes and other vegetation. In the vanilla game, vegetation can change shape or appear quite suddenly as the player approaches. With the mod installed, plants retain the detail from farther away, making the Badlands greener areas feel more consistent. It is a smaller improvement, but it removes one of those distractions that become difficult to ignore after you notice it. The 9th mod improves distance, shadows and reflections. This mod connects distant objects with the surrounding environment. Buildings and vehicles feel less disconnected from the lighting, while reflective surfaces remain more convincing across longer viewing distances. The improvement is subtle compared when changing the entire weather system, but it contributes to the complete image, particularly in open areas and while driving in high speed. The final mod improves something that becomes especially noticeable when driving through Night City after dark: vehicle light draw distance. In the original game, headlights, taillights and emergency lights can appear relatively late as the vehicle approaches. Improved vehicle light distance allows those lights to remain visible farther away, making busy roads feel more populated and giving nighttime traffic a much stronger visual presence. It works particularly well with the improved distant reflections because of those vehicle lights can now be seen interacting with wet roads and the surrounding environment. The difference is subtle while standing beside the car, but from a rooftop or while driving quickly through the city it becomes considerably easier to notice. And with that installed, the complete 10 mod graphics overhaul is finished. Thank you so much for watching. At the end of this video I'll provide some gameplay with all of the mods enabled. If you want to see more of these kind of videos, please let me know and I'll try to do more of these videos. Thank you for watching, bye bye.